Hi everyone, this is Renee from Meadowlark Mystic, and I am doing a video recap on what I have been up to lately. Let's see, I haven't made a video in a while, but I do have some fun and interesting things to share with you. So the first thing is I finished the Arthurian Hallowquest. That's this deck in this book. This is the 25th anniversary edition. Yes, so it took me like, well, let's look. Let's see, my first entry was, okay, it took me 3 years. It took me 3 years to finish this quest. And I'm so glad I actually persevered. It's a really amazing journey. It's a really amazing experience, but it coincided with some very profound and big changes in my external reality. So anyway, it took me a long time to finish, and I finished, and I'm so glad I did. I understand now why people do it again in a few years to kind of revisit, you know, where they're at and where their spirituality is landing. So I'll probably do it again, and hopefully it will not take me 3 years to finish. I know that there are some other people in our community who are thinking about starting the Arthurian quest. I know that Candy is currently journeying, and I think Dawn Michelle said that she was thinking about it or interested in it. So it's great. It's very deep. It's very profound. I mean, it's as deep and profound as you, I guess, let it be. You know, I guess you could possibly go through it and it not be deep. Yeah, so yay, I did it. So in kind of keeping with that theme, I finally got the Druidcraft. This has been on my, not really my wish list, I guess, okay, on my wish list for a long time, but I was just like, nah. And then I said to myself, I'm gonna get this deck when I move to Ohio. And that was over a year ago. And I finally got it. I worked with it almost the whole month of October and November. I will say, oops, how did that get there? I will say that I'm really glad that I got this deck. I always thought that it would be a really great deck to work with the Arthurian and to work with the Wildwood. And of course it works great with the Avalonian, oh shoot, what's the name of that deck? Well, I can't remember right now. It's, oh, the Mists of Avalon Oracle. Yeah, it works great with that deck too. I like Will Worthington's art a great deal, and even though some of the figures, not this particular figure, but some of them have giant feet, I kind of find that funny in a good way. So what I wish is that the guidebook talked a little bit about the plants and animals that are on some of the cards. I did some censorship of this card. And yeah, so this is a great deck. It's a great all-around reader. So I don't know if this happens to you, but certain decks will throw out cards on repeat over and over again. And I don't know if it's kind of like the personality of the deck or maybe just a very specific message, but this deck threw out the Princess of Pentacles almost every reading. And the readings were not always about me, or, you know, they were not all similar readings. So I thought it was interesting. Like, look how huge his foot is gonna be. So yeah, I mean, certain decks do that. They throw out recurrent cards, and this is a deck that does this. But anyway, I really enjoyed working with this deck. It's a pretty even reader. It doesn't like escalate, nor does it de-escalate. It just kind of reads in a straightforward manner. I read both on like mundane things as well as like deep things. You know, sometimes you can kind of figure out what, I mean, those look a lot like buttercups, and obviously those are snowdrops. These could be heather, which then, you know, I would go to my Druid Oracle, plant Oracle to look at, but I don't know. I just wish that they said something about it in the guidebook. You know, there's a wren, this is an oak, I think this is ash. And for me, those are important. I always think he's like at a heavy metal concert, but no. I mean, look, her feet look humongous, which makes me laugh. I love this card so much. So pretty. Yeah, I love this artwork, and this deck is really good. I was actually, when I was working through the Cups suit in the Arthurian, this card came up. And then I did a whole like other reading on it. Yeah, okay, so that's the Druidcraft. I finally got it, and I really like it. I actually got it, oops, oh, now this is all messed up. Liz from West Star Tarot was, she did a whole culling of a lot of decks from her collection, and I got it from her. So thank you, Liz. So yay, all right. So I did the Arthurian, and I did, what else did I want to show? I've been working with these two decks recently. The Womanrunes. This is like, it comes in a little box, and these are the backs. Womanrunes. So I've been working with this deck and Tarot of the Crone. And it's been really powerful. Oh man, this card. This is one of my favorite and also like heartbreaking cards. This card came up for me during like the Tower years. I call them the Tower years, the last years where I was living in California on my farm. Such a potent and heartbreaking card. Anyway, these two go really great together. They have kind of a similar power feeling, like an energetic feeling to me. And so I've been working with them. It's deep work because both of these decks are pretty intense in their energy. So really enjoying that. Like this Ten of Swords, I'm gonna read you what the book says because I got this Ten of Swords recently, and it's just so beautiful. It's so beautiful. It's so yeah. So 10 of Swords, revelation. Truth is so much greater than I believed it could be. It pierces through me, it flashes from me, and I will never see the world the same. 10 shafts of light pierce a cloaked figure, slicing truth's white with ribbons of spirit blue. Her dark hands open in surrender for encounters with mind as a power greater than all known truths and proofs contain their own inexorable certainties and cannot be denied. Revelation means finally giving up denial, lest your spirit be broken with the effort to maintain it. Do not be broken. Do not despise your yesterday self for not knowing these things before. Today is the culmination of your understanding. It's time to shine with the light that transformed through you. Anyway, so it's been really powerful. I'm working with it probably the whole month of December. December is a very tricky month for me for lots of reasons. So these two decks are going to be my companions during the month of December. and it's already been very fruitful. So that is Tarot of the Crone and Womanrunes. Trying to put them back. And then I wanted to share my, oh, where is it? I wanted to share my, oh, there it is. My art journal, and then a bunch of books. So here's my art journal, which I've shown before. Okay, so here is, this is the collage for December. No, November, sorry. This is the collage for November. And this is my setup, and it's messy because I add to it, blah, blah, blah. My gratitude, big ideas, super personal, don't really want to show those. You could probably pause it if you're that vested in it. This is my setup for December. And then here is the collage for December. Very sparse, very bare. This is definitely how I'm feeling. And there's the gratitude and tarot. I need to do that for today. Decks, books, purchases, wish list, big ideas. And then I think I started, goals for December. And this is the beginning of the winter solstice reading that I always do. And for the winter solstice reading, I like the spread from 365 Tarot Spreads, the book by Graham. So I'm gonna do that again here. I don't know if I'm gonna do a year ahead spread. So these are the cards. These are the last cards from last year. I have them out. So these are the cards that I journey with from Samhain to the winter solstice. And I pulled these almost a year ago. And I have found the Wheel of the Year helpful for me. But I've also, over the this past year, I haven't really checked in with it as much as in years past, and I haven't found it as helpful as in years past. So I think what I'm gonna try this year is, instead of doing a year ahead spread, I'm going to do a month ahead and see how that works for me. Because I don't know if I'm going to use these decks again or not. I do kind of feel like this deck, because it's kind of locked in my year ahead, I don't use the deck hardly. And I love this deck and I want to use it more. That's actually the reason why I have 2 copies of the Arthurian, is because when I was doing the Hallowquest, I couldn't use the deck easily for other things, so I got 2. And I don't want to get 2 of everything just because I'm using it for long-term work. So yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do a year ahead. But I mean, I probably won't do a year ahead, but I may do, I like that navigation. Well, I can't show it to you because it's not in this book, but there's my birth card and then there's the card of the year. So my birth card is the Emperor. Our collective card of the year, our collective card of the year is the Strength card. My personal card, I believe, is it's like collective card. Yeah, I think mine is the is Judgment. So my personal card is Judgment. Our collective card is Strength, and then my birth card is the Emperor. And I usually pull another majors to kind of navigate the bridge between my birth card and the other 2. I don't know if I'll do that. I may or I may not. So yeah, so anyway, that's these and good. So I'm gonna put those back, and then I'm gonna share some. I didn't do a bunch. Okay. So I'm going to share this. I purchased this, the Many Moons 2024 Lunar Planner, because I was kind of frustrated with other planners that I'd gotten. And I've been it's expensive in terms of like what I usually spend on these. I like how in the beginning of it, there's an interpretation thoughts of your card of the year. So I like how this planner talks specifically to a tarot reader, tarot experience. Then there's goals for 2024. I mean, I don't even know if I'll fill those out, but I like everything that I've read about the 2024 astrological overview. I don't really know that much about astrology, but I am interested in it. And then I like over here on the side how they talk about all the transits. I do wish that they put on this overall planner the sign that the full moon and new moon is in. They didn't do that, which is kind of annoying. So I wrote I wrote it in. They do it when you go into the actual you know, planner. And they do, you know, give you like astrological stuff that's happening, which is why I bought this planner. Yeah, so here they do tell you on the actual day, which I'm like, I hope they do, because that's the whole reason I got this. Yeah, so anyway, I got this, and I've been enjoying it. You know, it's the 2024 that we're going into is a strength. And I'll be honest, whenever I see the strength card in a reading, I'm always like, oh great, I'm gonna need all the strength that I can muster to navigate whatever's happening. And I'm gonna need to balance instinct and also logic, you know, need versus want. That's what I feel like when I see the strength card. And so, yeah, I would really love it if we could have like an easy year. I think collectively we all need one, but there's just so much oppression and injustice happening in the world right now that you know, strength is what we need, and strength is what we're gonna get. So that is the Many Moons Planner. And then this is a book that I've been waiting for a long time. It is The Inner Field Trip by Lisa Renee Hall, and 30 Days of Personal Exploration, Collective Liberation, and Generational Healing. She is a really amazing teacher. I'll just read what it says here. She's a mental health advocate and founder of The Inner Field Trip, a community helping highly sensitive, highly perceptive, deep feeling, and neurodivergent people explore unconscious biases so they can protect their energy, be on the side of justice, and become better ancestors. As a counseling psychology graduate student, Hall uses evidence-based methods such as play, music, expressive arts, and reflective journaling to help her clients meet their inner oppressors while enhancing their self-awareness and self-compassion. Hall's advice has been featured in The Guardian and on American Express Open, along with television, radio, and podcast appearances. So as a highly sensitive person, I do become overwhelmed sometimes with the intensity of, you know, like an activity such as going to a protest. And I mean, of course I believe that marching and protesting is really important, but for somebody with a nervous system like mine, it can become overwhelming. But that doesn't mean that I'm sidestepping my responsibility. So this book is really good at like exploring that, and I'm excited about it. So yay. And then I also got this book, and I'm going to be starting it probably, well, it's 365, so I'll be starting it January 1st. Ahime Ora, Ancestors Said, 365 Introspections for Emotional Healing. And this is the bio about her. I'm not going to read it. You can pause it and read it if you want. I just was really touched by her. I saw something on Instagram that she had posted, and it really touched me. And I've been wanting to reach out to my ancestors more, but not really knowing how to do that. And so I felt like her words and her encouragement really touched me. So that's why I'm reading this. Ohio is where my most recent ancestors are from. Obviously, no, not obviously. My ancestors come from Europe, mostly Germany, Poland, and England, Scotland, and Ireland. But they lived here in Ohio. I mean, like I said, my most recent ones. So I do feel their presence more. I do feel closer to them than I did when I lived on the West Coast. So I'm going to start this, and I'm looking forward to it. Then 2 other books I've been reading. I've been rereading this, Women Who Run with the Wolves. Just so deep, so profound, sometimes difficult to read when you're going through an intense life event, like I've been going through, which seems like I've been going through it for years now, but so valuable, so helpful. And the person I was when I read this, gosh, over 10 years ago, is so different than the person I am now. So rereading your beloved classic books is really helpful. And I'm also reading this book. It's an old book, but you know, as someone who's going to be a licensed clinical mental health counselor, it's important to understand medicine from both sides. So yeah, I've been enjoying this. It was like 99 cents or something. And then the last book that I want to share that I've been enjoying, you cannot even see the name of the book because of the library stickers on it. So hopefully inside, oh yeah. So this is The Scent of Time. Here it is. The Scent of Time by Byung-Chul Han, a philosophical essay on the art of lingering. Byung-Chul Han, I just recently discovered this philosopher. They live, I think they live in Germany. Okay. Byung-Chul Han is a Korean-born professor of philosophy and cultural studies who teaches at the University of Arts in Berlin. He is the author of more than 20 books, including The Transparency Society and The Burnout Society. I discovered him because somebody on YouTube was talking about the Burnout Society. I was super interested in it. I tried to get it through my library, but I couldn't. And then, so I'm interested in that book, but I could get this book, and I'm also interested in time. This is just my bookmark. This is some intense philosophical deep dive into time. So it's out of my usual reading. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm like not able to understand it, but it definitely pushes the boundaries of my understanding. Just because I don't read philosophy, you know, this whole first section, I'm only on page 12, you know, is all referencing Nietzsche and Heidegger. And I know of these two philosophers. I've never read their original material. I've just never really been that interested in it. But I am interested in his discussions on time and how he believes that we're not in an acceleration of time. What did he say in the very beginning? It's like a deceleration. No. Oh man, it's gonna get more complicated. So it's not that we're, because I know we talk about how things are accelerating and it feels like things are going faster and faster, but his contention is not that they're accelerating, but that they're diffused and they're moving out in all directions, and all we have are points of time in the present. And though we like to think that we're moving in a linear fashion, which in and of itself is problematic, but we're actually just, there's no end point, there's no stop, there's no conclusion, like a satisfactory conclusion. So we just end up in these ever present but without meaning moments of time. Anyway, I find it interesting, but I do find it, you know, deep and kind of like, woo! So that's what I have been reading and working on. So I'm really glad that I finished the Arthurian Hallowquest. I'm really proud of myself. It's funny, I'm like proud of myself, but I'm also like, whoa, it took you 3 years. Like, that's a long time. And then I think to myself, well, the person who started it here and the person that you are now, very different. I mean, of course, it can be argued that each moment we're reborn and each moment we're a new person. But, you know, the difference between me now and me in 2016, huge. The difference between me now in 2023, December 2023, and me December 2020, huge, hugely different, given everything that happened both globally as well as on a deep personal level. So maybe I'll need to go back through the Arthurian Hallowquest sooner than I think I will, but yeah, I'm just gonna celebrate that right now. Yeah, December is this. This is what December feels like internally. I'm hoping to rework my relationship with December, but I don't know when that will happen. Anyway, if you made it to the end of this video, this rambly video, thank you. I hope you're doing well, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.